So looking at the color touchscreen remote control, we're now on the video preview screen. So if we scroll over, we'll go back to the screen where we have the orientation, the follow mode and the zoom control for the camera. And if we scroll over again, we have the joystick controls where you can adjust the functionality of the joystick. You can change the tilt and pan speed and whether it goes in a clockwise or an anti-clockwise rotation when you move the joystick. Light control, you can also control the LED floodlight from this screen. At the moment it's off, but we can turn it on, change the brightness, the color and what have you. We just click on the on, you'll see the LED light has come on the AI tracking module. Turn off when it's on. When in neutral mode, 1% brightness, we can change the brightness here, and we can change whether we're neutral, warm or cold lighting. So I'll change it to warm. You can see the color changing on the AI tracking module light unit. So that's your color controls. More settings here. You can change the language. There's a tutorial. There's AI settings, which I've got tilt tracking on. If you turn tilt tracking off, when you're in AI follow mode, it won't tilt, it will pan only. So when it's trying to follow whatever subject you've selected, it will only pan. You can disable gestures on here. So if you don't want to use the O and flat palm gestures and the double L, you can turn them off on there. But we need those on. Motor strength, we don't change that, it's on medium, but you can change the strength, the power output effectively of the gimbal motors, low, medium and high. Follow speed, useful. I've got follow speed set to medium, but if you prefer, when you move the gimbal, the follow to be faster, you can go fast or slower if you want slower. And default orientation, this is where you choose when you power up whether you want it in portrait or landscape mode. I've got it in portrait. Gimbal sound on or off, so you can literally turn any beeps and bongs on or off, so I usually keep it off. Screen brightness, 100%, but you can change the brightness of the controller here. So if it's a little bit bright, you know, especially if you're filming in the evening, you can turn the brightness down. I'll try it on halfway at the moment. Level calibration, manual and auto, so you can manually roll, you can change the roll mode on here, so you can, if I move the gimbal into display and turn off the light, you can see here I can manually calibrate. You can see it moving, so you can calibrate this. If you're not happy with where the phone is sitting relative to the vertical position, you can calibrate it manually. Roll, tilt and pan. So tilt control, you'll see the tilting move up and down. I'll keep it on 0 for the moment, which is perfect because it's calibrated correctly. And pan. And then there's an auto setting where now it will auto, tap the auto button, it will now actually calibrate automatically and find the ideal calibration setting. And there it is, done, calibrated. You see it move and then move back with a jerk. And then device info finally just gives you the device number, serial number, etc. And firmware version, so Bluetooth, gimbal and remote, so you can see what firmware version you've got. Once you've got the Hohem app loaded on your phone, which you don't need to use for filming. At the moment, all the filming we've been doing has been with the native Samsung camera app. You don't need to use any other app at all. You can use your native camera app, but the Hohem app has ability to link to the gimbal and do firmware and software updates as available, and it also has custom features in there, custom filming modes, which is unique to the Hohem app. So if you film through the Hohem app, you have some additional modes available which won't be on your native phone camera app. So the choice is yours. You can use your native camera app, which I'm doing using the Samsung app, which I love. But if I want to use any special effects or features, I can switch to recording through the Hohem app and use those features. The final setting we'll look at here is this scenario button. We'll tap on that and you've got pan and roll rotation, panorama and time lapse. Now if you look at pan rotation, you can actually set it to rotate the phone in the gimbal from either one rotation or continuous rotation. So just to demonstrate here, we'll do we'll do clockwise one rotation. I'll tap on the button. We've got the speed set to about middle. And now what will happen is you'll see the gimbal rotating there. One rotation, clockwise, and stop. So that's good for special effects. You can go counterclockwise. Again, we'll now do one rotation counterclockwise. And there's the one rotation, it will stop. And you can go, for instance, clockwise with no limit. So it will just keep rotating. I'll just demonstrate something here. I'll tap on. And now it will just keep rotating clockwise until I tell it to stop. You'll see we've done one rotation and now we're continuing. And whilst we're in that mode, we can change the speed of the rotation, as you can see here, or we can slow it back down. So that's a really useful function for some special effects. So we'll turn that off. We'll go back to the normal setting. So there's rotation, roll rotation. We'll do clockwise 180. And here we go, roll rotation. For some interesting special effects. So that was roll rotation 180. You can do that clockwise or counterclockwise, and you can also change the speed that a special effect works at. So that's your roll rotation. And panorama gives you, when you're doing photos, you want a panorama, you can do a 3x3 photo grid, a 180 wide angle, a 360, or a 720 VR effect. So you have the options to do all of those things in the photographic mode using the panorama settings. So, and then there's time lapse. Now you can set motion time lapse on here, which I need to do a separate video on, because there's many things you can do with this. You can set the endpoint adjustment, all sorts of things. So we'll look at that on a separate video. So that's basically your menu and functions and settings screens. We'll go back to the first of the three main entry screens. I'll scroll across and scroll again, which will take us to, there we go, the video preview screen. So this is really excellent. And of course, as I mentioned, once you're in that preview screen, you've got full control of the gimbal with the joystick, and this works for up to 10 meters away from wherever you've placed your gimbal. So I hope that was of interest to you. There's so many things you can do with this gimbal. It's a brilliant device, and I can't tell you how much fun it is to use with all these great functions and features. Thank you all for watching.